Good morning. I'm trying a new angle this morning. So the sun's shining in. Yay! What a beautiful weekend. Okay, I think you're good. I think everyone can see me here. Okay, so just as far as props go, what you need, if you have yoga blocks, that's great. If not, a book is a good one. This one's pretty thick, this one's pretty heavy, but the thicker the better, and fairly sturdy is ideal. Actually, if not, no big deal. You can use a bolster if you have one too, or even like a couch cushion. This is my lovely, dirty, well-used and loved bolster. But even like a couch cushion or something like that, that was kind of thick. If you stand, we're going to be standing on this. So if you use a cushion, it's just going to be a little bit more challenging, which is a good thing. The harder the surface will give you a little bit more feedback, a little bit more stability for balancing. So, and then I do have another cushion here just for our ending underneath the hips. And then I have a blanket as well for knees. I don't think we're actually on our knees today. Nope. But just for your back at the end, only rest. Okay, so gather what you need. How's everyone doing? I'd love to hear from you. So just know, hi Catherine. Just know that you can always reach out if you have, like, if we've been to classes before and we're sort of do our usuals and you're missing something in particular, just send me a message. Or I have heard from one of you and you had an injury on the weekend, things like that, just to give me a little sense so that I know if you're practicing along and how I can sort of accommodate you. Totally new learning curve, not being able to see all of you. So hopefully what I'm bringing forward is working for your body. All right, so whenever you're ready, we're gonna come to standing, and you're gonna bring your book or block or bolster, whatever it is that you have, and just bring it there for a moment. We're just gonna stand behind it and just take a second, just to, if you haven't already, kind of just welcomed yourself into your feet this morning. So I always like to start here, spread the toes, rock from your heels to your toes, moving from side to side, having that nice soft bend in your knees, just letting your hips move with you, and your ankles, kind of rolling on the ankles a little bit. This tends to be a common injury, so it's nice to kind of strengthen the ankles in those type of movements. We're going to do a little bit more ankle strengthening today. So coming up onto the balls of the toes and the feet, lifting the heels, just a little bit of hello to the feet. All right, so finding your foundation, spreading the soles of the feet nice and wide and just letting them kind of meet the surface that you're standing on. A little wiggle to the knees. Let's take a big inhale, rise the arms up, gaze up, fingertips touch. Exhale, arms come down. We'll just do a few like that. Inhale, nice and long and slow. Looking up, rooting down. Exhale, hands come down. Two more like that. And exhale down your side. Just take a moment in your mountain posture, maybe rotating the palms to face forward, just in this gesture of kind of opening and welcoming to your practice. Maybe close your eyes, lengthen up through the spine, through the crown of the head, soften the shoulders. And just exhale, letting out any tension, any mental chatter. And just kind of find your physical world here. What is it that you notice about your body? All right here, right now? What makes you aware that you have a body and that you're in a body? Opening the eyes. So just bring the hands up. We're just going to do a little bit of tapping on the top of your head. Just with the fingers tapping. Come down around the sides of your temples and your ears. Just kind of tapping all around the hair and the hairline with your fingers. Tapping on your jaw. Massage a little bit of the jaw muscles. Give your ears a tug. Tug them up. Tug them down. Use your hands, grab the back of your neck. Just gonna give it a little bit of a squeeze. And then taking one hand, just tap the shoulder. You're gonna start to tap all the way down your arm, down towards your fingers, and then up the inside of your arm. Arm reaches up, tap your armpit all around there, and then down your side to your hip. Just shake that out. Your other arm taps the top of the shoulder and the neck. Down the top of your arm, so just nice light pats, I mean as much pressure as you want really. Down and then up the inside of the arm. Lift the armpit, lift the arm into the armpit. Down the sides of your body. And shake that out. And then just tapping on your chest a little bit. And smooth that down, smooth that all the way down your belly. Tap the very low parts of your belly, your hip bone areas, more your pelvis, but often we call this our hips. And then down the fronts of your legs, down your shins, bend your knees, pull your hips back, down to your feet if you can reach them. If not, no big deal. Come up the backs of your legs. Nice gentle pressure on the backs of your knees. All the way up to the bum, low back area. And then down the sides of your body. And up the inside. And up again towards those hip bones and the outer edges of your hips. All right, just shake that out. And again, just come into a mountain posture, nice standing tall, alert and awake. Maybe actually have the eyes open for a moment. Just stand tall through the crown of your head. Soften the shoulders. And what is it that you're aware of? That you have a body, that you're in a body. Nice, reach the arms up overhead. Nice big inhale. Clasp the hands, send the palms to the sky. Root down through the feet. Press to the outer edges of the heels a little bit more. And then lift your toes, spread them wide. Press into the big toe mound. And then it's going to feel like you're tucking your tailbone, but I don't want you to necessarily tuck it. Just send the hips slightly forward. And then lengthen as if you're trying to lift your entire rib cage off your pelvis. Let your toes relax. Still a little bit of pressure to the outer edges of the legs. Pressing up, reaching up, lifting that rib cage, and then up and over to your side. Just some length to the sides of the body. And come on up. Over to your other side, lifting as you reach. Big breath in, reach up. And then hands come down. Roll the shoulders out. All right, so I want you to we're going to find the outer hip muscles here. So this is where we're going to be standing on your block, your book, or your bolster. So just coming to stand on that. Your other foot, can you just start to let it sway a little bit? It's okay if your balance is wobbly and you need to touch down onto the ground, but just start to sway. Notice that you're not moving from the waistline. You're just trying to allow the thigh bone to dangle. And again, it's not even a knee bend. It's the whole leg swaying here. Okay, and then just hovering that foot above the floor as if you were standing beside the other one that's kind of, that is on the surface. And what you're gonna do is with both legs straight, is you're gonna dip your hips as if you're gonna, maybe you'll set your foot down and then press into your heel that's standing on your prop and lift that hip up. And then come back down and come up. So you should start to feel maybe some wobbles through your standing leg. And you should definitely feel the outer hip and bum area. That's what I want you to think about, rooting through that heel to lift this hip. So you're just basically doing like a hip tilting kind of movement. So just play around with that. Notice what you notice. Nice, and then just come off that, shake it out, shake it out. All right, we'll switch sides. So standing, so you can notice it tires quite quickly. All right, so just finding the leg swaying here. Again, not from the low back, not from the knee. That's right from the hip socket. Okay, and then come to that balancing place where you dip that hip down and then press to come up. So you're throwing yourself off balance and level and then coming back to level, using the standing leg to root down, press through that heel. Start to explore, notice. A few more like that. Nice, and then come off with that. Just kind of shake it out. That's all really we're gonna use that prop for, so you can set it off to the side. All right, so just kind of circling through the hips for a sec, through the knees. All right, and then come to a fairly, little tiny bit wider than hip distance stance. And we're gonna start to draw a figure 8 with the hips. So forward and back. So if you're just gliding across your tailbone across the horizon and you're creating a figure 8 shape. And can you just get really relaxed with this? Just let your shoulders and your hands hang at the side. Just let the knees even soften a little bit. Just moving in that shape of a figure 8. And then change your direction. So you're still going forward and back. Thank you to one of our group members, Susanna, who taught me this infinity flow a few years ago. So we're just doing a little portion of the sequence right now. All right, and then just take a moment, just come to stillness and just kind of notice your hips and energy in the body. All right, now we're gonna go from side to side. So still across the horizon, you're like ground level here, but your tailbone is drawing a figure 8 from side to side. You can have your hands there if that makes more sense to you, or just let them hang at your side. Just get really relaxed with this. It can be a really big figure 8 infinity spiral. Change your direction, still across the horizon. Let the belly relax. Nice, and then just let that relax, just notice. All right, we're gonna go side to side again, but this time we're gonna come up off the horizon. So you're actually making a figure 8, or infinity spiral, up off of the horizon. Maybe it just takes you a moment or so to visualize that. So really visualize the symbol that you're creating, the shape that the body's making, and then just let your body flow with it. Maybe not thinking so much about it. All right, change your direction. Sometimes that just takes a little moment for the brain to catch up to. Nice, let that relax. Notice, notice, notice. All right, forward and back off of the horizon. So this is, you know, the one that can get a little tricky if your low back is tight or the belly. So I do find it helpful to bring my hands to my low belly and my low spine and just starting to create. You may go the opposite direction. That's okay. You're just going forward and back and you're coming up off the horizon. So just doing that whatever way makes sense in your body right now. Just be fairly relaxed about it. And then change your direction. And just continue with that. Nice. And then just let that relax. So nice little warm up for the hips. Always, I do find if you have low back pain, spending like a good, we were there for about 5 or 10 minutes, but spending a good chunk of time doing that can really help to kind of loosen up any tension that's in the low back. So just take a moment and kind of notice that. If you feel any change, you might even feel a nice abdominal kind of engagement there. Nice. All right, so we're gonna step your right foot back. Just a small step, wide step so that you have a little bit of balance. All right, and they're gonna come high on the toes. You're gonna come to the top of the foot. You're gonna bend your knees as if you were gonna place your shin on the ground. Then come up, press your heel back, and both hips come back with you. Both legs are straight. So check in at this shape for a moment. Kind of root down through the big toe mound. And if you were hinging over your hips here, the spine were long. The spine is long. Left hip pulling back if your right foot is back behind you. All right, and then come forward again. Both knees bend, come to the top of the foot. Bending just as deeply as it feels comfortable for you. Then straight legs, both heels down, hips back. Just move back and forth through that. We're kind of engaging the front and the back of the body here, but also working into all the major folds of our low body, into the ankles, inflection and extension, the knees, inflection and extension, and the hips in this flexion back. Nice. Next time, legs are back, heels are planted, spine is long. Let's reach the arms out to the side, hinging over the hips. The foot that's in front of you, can you trace a line from the outer edge of your foot all the way to your back hip and draw that back slightly. Root into both feet, lengthen here. Inhale, rise the palms up. Exhale, come back, hinging over. Nice and tall again. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, hinging over. Clasp the hands behind you. Open up through the chest. And then rolling down. Maybe let your spine roll. You can always have your hands on your low back. Grab for maybe your wrists. Nice, slowly rolling up. Coming to standing to bring your back leg to lift. So that knee lifts up. Extend the leg out in front of you. Then we're going to reach it back behind you and just touch the toe down. Lift up, Press through the heel, nice and tall through the spine. Reach back, touch the toe. You're still hinging over that standing leg. And this can be a floating movement where the leg never touches down. But you could also touch down in front and touch down in the back. Just notice you're just kind of hinging over that hip. Arms can reach in opposite direction of your leg. And just get a little creative with this. Nice, coming up to standing, still lifting through that knee. You're going to take that leg, swing it around all the way to your opposite side, touch it down, bend your knees. So as if you were going to plant your knees down, come up, swing your leg all the way around in front of you, touch. Down in front, toe touches, swing it all the way around, and then that curtsy lunge again. Coming up, swinging it around. So it might touch down in front, touches down behind you as you bend. Stay lifted through the chest, just going down as deeply as your outer hip can tolerate right now. And again, arms can reach forward as you come back. All right, a few more like this. We'll say 2 more. Swing that leg nice and wide. Last one here. Come up to standing and shake that out. Grab a drink. Okay, so coming into standing again. Your opposite leg, maybe it's your left, steps back. Short stance, heels are planted. So just kind of establishing that front leg, that hip is drawing back. You hinge over. Okay, then you come to the top of the back foot and you bend down. Pressing the heels back down, legs come straight. Come to the top of the foot. Legs are straight, hinging back. Down, hinging back. Arms can reach, long spine. Do whatever you want with your arms. Hips are back like you're reaching forward. All right, come to standing with both heels anchored down, hips drawing back. From that front foot, outer seam of the hip and leg drawing back behind you. Spine is long, arms out to the side. Palms facing down. Can you find a little rolling back of the shoulders, squeezing between the shoulder blades? Nice, reach the arms back behind you, clasp them, open up through the chest, and roll the spine forward and down. You can always grab for wrists or forearms. Relax the head. And then slowly coming up, and that knee comes with you, the back leg. Extend the leg, tap it behind you. So we're actually coming to the straight leg that's standing. So basically both legs are straight here. That might be a little out of order of what we just did a moment ago. It's kind of fun. I was practicing with my video last week. I realized I said a few strange things and missed something on one side. So always good learning. All right, so reaching, the leg can be floating and maybe it's touching down behind you. And then reach it out in front. Swing it all the way around. Goes to the opposite side, knees bend, come up, swing it all the way around. Maybe it touches in front, all the way around. So really finding the full range of the hip as the leg swings around. And you dip down. Two more. Arms can do whatever they wish. Nice. And then release that. Shake it out. I'm gonna open my window. Okay, so coming into your mountain posture, take a nice big breath in, reach up, arms up. Exhale, folding over your hips, hips back, knees bend, spine rounds. Nice soft forward fold here. Let your feet root and press, knees bend. Roll yourself up to standing. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, reaching back, folding over, soft bend in the knees, round the spine. Come to a forward fold, let that go. Nice slow rounding as you root and rise. Arms up towards the sky. Exhale, right back into your forward fold. Nice, big bend in your knees, bring your hands to your upper thighs, lift your chest. Come on up to standing. We're gonna step your right foot back all the way to a nice high lunge here. So that same idea that our hips are facing forward, feet are nice and wide, press back through that heel, nice little bend in the knee, engage the glutes and the hips, bending into that front knee. And then feel if you can tuck and tilt your tailbone a little bit here. So a little bit of movement to your pelvis. All right, then rooting that down, finding a nice stable position somewhere in the center. And then arms out to your side, fingertips behind your head. Open up through the chest, start to lift your chest as you gaze up. And then exhale, we'll round in. Inhale, open. Exhale, round. Inhale, lift and open. Exhale, round. Inhale, lift, open, arms relax. Open up through the legs and the hips. Coming to your warrior two posture. So that back leg turns so that the hips open. You bend into that front knee. Take a moment just to kind of find some movement here. Arms reaching. Palms to the sky. Nice big inhale as you reach that front arm up towards the sky. Exhale, coming back to pivot. Back heel lifts again. Nice strong foundation into that front foot. Come forward. Stepping that opposite foot, your left foot back, way back. Find your lunge. Pull that front hip back. Engage the glutes to stabilize you here. Toes are tucked under in the back foot, knees slightly bent. Find a little bit of movement to your pelvis, your low back. And then find some space there, some length there. Let's reach the arms up. Turn the palms up towards the sky. Then turn the palms down. Lift them up. And then come to cactus arms here. Squeezing back behind your shoulder blades. Inhale, reach up. Fingertips touch. Exhale, bring those elbows down. Inhale, reach up. Fingertips touch. Exhale, bring that down. One more time. Inhale, up. Exhale, down. Relax the arms. Open up to your warrior two. So find a stance that's comfortable for your legs. Your knees not falling in. You're pressing to the outer edge of your hip. Find a little bit of movement for a moment. length to the spine, little drawing in of the belly, reaching the arms, palms up. Inhale nice and big to that front arm, reaching up. Exhale, come forward, pivot, step forward. Nice big inhale. Exhale, forward fold, all the way down. Start to walk your feet out. We're gonna come down to the mat, so perhaps coming down in a squat feels available for you. So just moving around a little bit, just opening up through hips. Bring the hands back behind you. Come on down. Coming into that 90-90 shape. Oh, can you see me? I'm like a white ghost. The sun. Whew, it's cooking in here. Okay, so 90-90-ish. Doesn't really matter so much. Flex the feet though, and kind of root down through the legs here. This back hip, can you send it forward? We're gonna reach and turn in that direction. So rotation to the spine. Bring that hand down and start to walk the hands away from you. Probably feeling a nice stretch in your outer hip here. Come on up. Go to your other side. Same thing, lift that hip for a moment. Root it down, reach your arm around, twisting and feeling that stretch in the outer edge of your hip. And just flowing through those two. We've done this one before. Reaching and rotating. And the next time that you reach, if you'd like to lift your hips up and press down through the floor, you're welcome to do that. You can stay with just that one where you rotate and the hips are down on the floor. Just explore a little bit. Nice. All right, and last time, come back through center. Okay, so we're actually gonna move right down to the floor now. So you're gonna take your blanket. I always just think it's nice to have a blanket underneath. So blanket underneath, and then either your bolster or your other cushion that you have or whatever. We're gonna come into bridge, like an elevated or supported bridge posture. Constructive resting. This is a weird angle, sorry guys. So we ended this way last week, I think, as well. So down onto the hips, sitting on your cushion. Knees are bent, feet are planted, and come on down to your back. So just take a moment to kind of land into the shape. If you need to drop your knees in, that was quite a lot of hip work. If you need to drop your knees in, that feels more stable, you can do that. Or just staying here. Just allow yourself the opportunity to tune into your breath here. Inviting the inhales and exhales to be a little longer and slower. So maybe if you're breathing a little heavier, if your heart rate is kind of elevated from that movement, just finding nice slow breath. If it ever at all feels overwhelming, just open your eyes. Feel heavy and soft across your forehead and your back of your neck. And shoulders resting down. Spine is long. And if it's comfortable, maybe soften the eyes or the gaze. And just ask yourself, what's here right now? What do you notice? Just finding your world. Landing into the bones. And the next time that you exhale, can you wait for a moment? Just find a little momentary pause. And then when your inhale needs to happen naturally, just allow it to. And notice what moves. At the bottom of your exhale, wait just a moment. A little space. And then when you inhale, notice what moves. Slight pause and holding at the bottom of the exhale. Notice what moves with the inhale. And then the next time that you exhale, and there's that moment where you pause and you wait, can you inhale with your chest only? Can you kind of inhibit moving anywhere else in the body and just bring the inhale into the chest? Let your exhale release. Find a little momentary pause. And then inhale with just the chest. Doesn't have to be a large movement, just enough that you don't feel lightheaded. Just start to be gentle with this. Just the chest. You might even place your hand there if you're having a hard time just finding the movement in only the chest. Exhale, wait. Inhale, just the chest. And then just let that rest for a moment. Just let your breath be natural. Just notice what's here right now. And then the next time you exhale, we're going to find that same momentary pause. And then can you inhale in just the belly? Finding movement in just the belly and actually inhibiting movement in the chest and the upper portion. Might feel a little strange to begin. And then exhale, just let it all go. Find a little pause. Inhale, just the belly moves. And exhale, pause and wait. Inhale, just the belly. Inhibiting any movement in the chest. Maybe bringing the hand onto the belly if that helps. Exhale, release, hold and wait. Inhale, just the belly. And then just let that go, that rest. Notice what's moving when you breathe in and out. One more practice. Maybe bring your hand to your chest and your belly. You're going to exhale and hold and wait for just a moment. And then inhale into the chest. And then can you send that to the belly? So you're going to hold it and move this breath between your chest and your belly. So you're holding the breath in and you're just moving it between chest and belly. Release the breath when you need to. Take a pause. And then we'll try that again. Exhale. Release and hold the breath for just a moment. Inhale into the chest. And then move it to your belly as you hold it. So you're holding your breath in and you're moving it between your chest and your belly. Release when you need to. Trying that a few more times. So wait for just a moment at the end of your exhale. Inhale into the chest. Hold it. Send that to your belly, back to your chest, to your belly, back to your chest, to your belly. Release the breath when you need to. Trying that one more time. And then release all of that. Just fall heavy into the weight of your bones. A little bit behind the theory of that breath practice is it gives us an opportunity just to kind of switch out of habitual ways. Often we can kind of feel stuck in having either one choice, or we're on a narrow track, or maybe we kind of see a yes or a no, or a black or a white. And that breath where we can kind of flow between, we can start to kind of build these neural pathways and this resiliency within ourselves and our body and our systems as a whole, that we can find other options and other ways of being, other kind of spaces between. When we get to see kind of opportunities in our body and the way that we breathe, it can also translate into different ways that we can see and be in the world, especially during times that feel a little uncertain and maybe it feels like we're on that one track. So just building in and grooving in these pathways, just letting your system know that there's always more than one way of being and doing. So just notice your breath as it moves to empty. Notice what moves when you breathe in. And then take a moment, lift your hips up and push that pillow down so that it's underneath your knees. Extend your legs. Just come into a full Shavasana posture. Just feel the fullness of your breath moving through the entirety of your physicality. Just notice any places that maybe feel a little bit engaged still, and can you just fall a little heavier into the bones, to the hug of gravity. Find your inner world. Just another few moments. Notice what moves when you breathe. Take a full, deep inhale. Nice, long, slow exhale. Begin to reach your arms up overhead. Point your toes away from you. Stretching long through your body. When you're ready, hug your knees into your chest. Just a little bit of rocking on your low back. Maybe send your feet to the sky or your knees wide. Just take a moment so that you can bring yourself over to your side and up to sitting. Just take your time. Just take a moment and just feel your tall spine. Bring one hand to your belly and one hand to your chest, to your heart. Take a full breath in. Exhale to empty. Bring your hands together to your heart center. The light in me honors the light in you. Thank you for sharing your practice. If you're here this morning, enjoy this beautiful day. And if you're practicing along later, hope you had a wonderful time as well. And I'll see you soon. Bye, everyone.